I'm going to keep it $150 with you guys. Genesis Drop 2 should have already been released. The targeted date has already come and gone, but due to the fact that I wanted to get every single detail right, we did delay it quite a bit. But with that being said, I could not be more proud of this offering. This is Genesis Drop 2 for Locust and Wild Honey.
Oh, how high would I climb mountains if the mountains were where you hide? Oh, how far I'd scale the valleys if you graced the other side. And oh, how long have I chased rivers from lonely seas to where they rise? Against the rush of grace descending from the source of its supply. Oh, I will praise you on the mountain, and I will praise you when the mountain's in my way. You're the heaven where my heart is, in the Highlands and the heartache all the same.
What is good, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're gonna be going over every single garment that you just saw in the Locust and Wild Honey Genesis Drop 2 campaign. We're going to be covering all of the details such as sizing, the thought process behind each design. The release is set to go live on August 23rd at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so be sure to stay locked on that. I will be sharing a link on the Locust and Wild Honey clothing Instagram, so if you're not following already, be sure to do so, because through the months I'll be sharing behind the scenes, rejected samples, all that good stuff. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first garment. Starting out with the absolute essentials, these are what are known as the light perfect vintage tees. This has been a product that's been under development for the better part of 2.5 years, and I have to say the wait will have been well worth it. This is a vintage t-shirt that was intentionally designed to set itself well apart from any other vintage blanks out there. This isn't just another pigment dyed t-shirt. While those are awesome in and of itself, and I own quite a few of them, the light perfect vintage t-shirt is a blank that is 100% custom, developed from 180 GSM cotton jersey fabric. It's been washed very thoroughly with the intention of revealing the slub knit fibers and threads for that authentically vintage look. This was a result of a lot of trial and error and a lot of investment to it, just because we weren't even sure if we could ultimately land on this finished product. We weren't even sure if we could get here, but I'm happy to announce that we are here and the details are in this t-shirt. I really think you're gonna love them, in addition to the fact that we sourced the perfect jersey fabric to receive this custom wash. We cut and sewed this fabric to be inside out, and it does feature a relaxed and overall boxy fit. If you go true to size 4 intended fit, you will have a slightly cropped but boxy t-shirt, slightly oversized, feature a slight drop shoulder, and complement your proportions beautifully. Conversely, you can go ahead and go one size up and just go for that overall boxier, oversized look. Now, with that being said, why did I add the word light to the name's nomenclature? I did find it to be a necessity to specify because we are currently developing a heavyweight perfect vintage t-shirt that will be releasing towards the winter months. But with that to say, I did find it important to have the perfect light vintage t-shirt to go ahead and allow for you to layer with into the fall without the t-shirt getting all like crunched up underneath a myriad of layers, whether that be be with a flannel and jacket or just under a jacket, as well as to get you through the rest of these warmer months of summer. The Light Perfect Vintage t-shirt will be releasing in a washed black as well as in a washed white at a retail price of $48. Next, on to the Perfect Vintage Graphic Tee segment, where we essentially take those beautifully cut, aged, and washed vintage tees and apply our graphics to them here in the United States, beginning with the Love Thy Neighbor t-shirt. The Love Thy Neighbor t-shirt will be offered in vintage washed white. The graphic out front does depict the Love Thy Neighbor slogan in this beautiful cursive script. As you can see, the text does feature a washed out cracking effect to really lean into the vintage aesthetic. I designed the vintage wash t-shirt to be extremely versatile. While it does feature those vintage elements, it's quite enough to go ahead and rock with anything over it, so if you do decide to layer, it's not too distracting. I love the message overall because the importance of loving thy neighbor is something that should be exercised each and every day. And if we properly learn to love our neighbors, perhaps the problems that exist today might not be as prominent. With that being said, in the spirit of loving that neighbor, I did decide to go ahead and donate 15% of the proceeds on this design to those affected by the wildfires that did break out over in Maui. If you guys would continue to be steadfast in prayer alongside with us here at Locust and Wild Honey, we'd really appreciate it. For anybody who is watching in Maui, please know that help is on the way. Hope is not lost, and you've got a lot of people all over the world interceding on your behalf for peace and help and refuge in this very difficult time. And I personally encourage the entire Locust Wild Honey community to hit the link below. If you feel led to give, go ahead and do so and partner with us as we support those affected over in Maui. These next two vintage graphic tees do come in washed black. First, we've got the offering known as the Heart of the Cross tee. Again, with this t-shirt, I wanted to create a design that would go with anything. Sure, you can go to a fail-safe that's really fire, but at the same time, goes with any kind of way of styling the shirt, whether you use colorful pants and sneakers, or if you go totally tonal with like a black pair of jeans, this shirt will be ready to rock in any which way you see fit. With the Light Perfect Vintage tee in wash black being the foundation of the shirt, it is sure to fit and complement your proportions perfectly. And the very same things ring true for the Holy Ghost Revival t-shirt, fitting exactly the same and featuring that same Light Perfect Vintage tee base. The shirt is sure to fit you very, very complementarily and does feature this beautiful cracked graphic out front. We ran a few different test samples for this graphic. We removed certain colors and things of that nature to ultimately land on what we have here today. I really am so proud at the originality as well as how great these vintage graphic tees turned out, and I really look forward to seeing how you style them. All right, and now moving right on to the bottom segment of Locust and Wild Honey's Genesis Drop 2, beginning with the Good Carpenter shorts. The Good Carpenter shorts reflect everything that you love about a vintage pair of worked-in work pants. They fit relaxed to the thigh, they're going to be very comfortable, are comprised of a very durable washed duck canvas. This wash process is very meticulously selected to adhere to this specific fabric. Over time, expect this pair to age extremely gracefully. They do feature standard carpenter detailing all throughout. Also, I have custom hardware on there, which do include these little mini Locust and Wild Honey rivets and are finished at the leg opening with a standard hem. These shorts will do excellent in anybody's wardrobe, due to the fact that they are hyper versatile. They don't demand or command too much attention, while at the very same time looking very nice and premium and having that subtle detailing in the vintage wash. Now, as it relates to sizing, for all of my bottoms, I do use the vanity sizing metric. For me personally, I do take one size down. I'm typically a size 30 in all other brands, but I do size down to a 29 for the perfect fit. They have been an absolute staple since I originally got my samples in, and I don't doubt they will be in your wardrobe as well, as these are very, very easy to wear. Next up is a pair of pants that I am so excited about. Development of these pants was a bit of a process, but man, oh man, was the mission worth it. These are what are known as the heavy laden fatigue pant. Now, if you're not familiar with what a fatigue pant is, they're essentially pants that were given to people who are active duty to serve as work pants in the military. The term heavy laden is a nod at two things. First, it does have that vintage worked in look. This did undergo a very specific wash process yet again for this fabric to go ahead and fade out and achieve that military worked in vintage look. But it is somewhat of a double meaning, almost a play on words, as it is a nod to Matthew 11:28, which does state, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest for your souls." These were the words of Jesus calling those who needed rest for their souls, and I find it to be just such a beautiful verse in scripture. And so it's kind of a double meaning on that personal end as well. Now, as I've kind of already hinted at as I broke down the term heavy laden, this pair does have a pretty washed out effect, almost very worn in look. And this wash process was very difficult to develop just because it is very, very specific. Now, I did have this goal in mind because I did take inspiration from an absolutely gorgeous piece, something that I've always admired, and this piece was from the House of Fear of God and Ready Made, due to the fact that this was actually lived in tent material. It had this really gorgeous washed out effect. The color of these pants took inspiration from that iconic backpack in that moment of time. And yeah, I just thought it would be cool to kind of share with you guys the backstory as to why I was so crazy about developing this color. It is going to release in a vintage military green, which does kind of emulate that backpack. But in addition to that, it's also going to come in a vintage washed black, which I feel like is going to be very, very wearable. I personally take a size 29 to fit my 30-inch waist. All right, now moving on to the final offering for Genesis Drop 2, we have the Wave Knit shorts. Building off of the insane popularity of the Wave Knit shorts, I did decide to go ahead and make a counterpart to go ahead and pair with the Wave Knit shirt that did drop in Drop 1. We're going to be adding the Knit Wave shorts, which do feature everything you love about the Knit Wave shirt, which does include that same great weight, fabric, and construction as we did see on the beloved Knit Wave shirt. What's really dope is that you can pair these as a set, or for me personally, what I've been doing since I got my samples in, I've just been wearing them as an elevated pair of shorts with like a vintage tee, a plain t-shirt, and wear with a pair of sneakers or slides, and they look really, really good. Just an elevated pair of shorts to kind of divert from your standard typical shorts that are out there. And for those of you wondering, I did go ahead and add a mesh lining so that way you can't see through the shorts as you typically would with the Knit Wave shirt. Now, as for sizing, I do recommend taking your typical true to size that you take in a standard pair of like gym shorts or mesh shorts. This is not numeric sizing. It is going to be like a size small, medium, large, so on and so forth. So for me, being a size 30, I do go ahead and take a size small, and they fit great. So to tie it all together, the knit wave shirt is coming back for one final restock before being ultimately retired. And then we've got the knit wave shorts on the way to pair or to wear individually. Just a fire pair of shorts coming in both black as well as in that cream colorway. Finally, to not be forgotten, the staple piece of this entire collection, of which this campaign is built around, we're gonna be restocking the Grace necklace. With that to say, best of luck to you tomorrow for drop day. I really put a lot of time, energy, thought, prayer, R&D, rejected samples. I put a lot of time into this, put my heart into it, and I'm just so excited for this newest offering. I'm looking forward to see how y'all receive it. As always, thank you so much for the continued support. I really am so humbled that you continue to come back to the channel, rock with me. We're at 100K now, which is just crazy, a precipice I never thought I would reach, but we're here now, and it's all because of you guys, and I'm just so grateful to get to do what I get to do through serving you, through making content, as well as now making garments. And until next upload, I'll see you tomorrow for drop day, and until next upload, I'm gonna say peace and be blessed.